Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Yes Airmaster. This board features good old-fashioned traditional camber, so from contact point to contact point you have that arc of traditional camber. That's going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive. One other thing to talk about with this board though is that it has the Yes Y3D in it, which is basically their take on 3BT. So at the contact points, it's kind of beveled out, but it's more mellow than a lot of 3BTs. I would say it was very similar to what's on the Bataleon Beyond Metals. This way you still get edge bite out there, but you're gonna get that 3D shaping to kind of funnel that snow out as well. This board is available in 150, 154, 156, 158, and 162. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day with average temps. You had normal, soft, kind of easy to set your edge in groomers, chop, chunder, little bit of ice, even a couple spots left over a hot pout, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board comes in just past middle of the road, even though it is a twin freestyle board. And you have some key defined flex points. The obvious ones are out at the nose and the tail. You're gonna be able to feel that you have a little bit more give out there when you're pressing and buttering. But the ones that are a little more subtle and nuanced are on the inside between the feet, so you just have a little bit more give right inside your bindings. If you look at the carbon layup of this board, the core profiling and everything, that kind of makes sense. And how does that translate to stability? Well, you're gonna get some chatter out in the tips, and that's gonna slightly resonate underfoot, but the midsection by and large is actually the most stable. This will allow you to cut through chop and chunder, and unless you hit something that's like frozen underneath fresh snow, you're not gonna have a problem with it. Keep your knees slightly bent and you're good to go. This board's the Airmaster. Obviously, it's going to want to get you in the air. It's also traditional camber, so when you load it up and you roll back on the tail, you're gonna get some solid spring. So launch that side hit, ollie over that slow sign, boost that roller. Just be aware that if you're on edge, you'll lose a little bit of that edge bite from that 3D shaping, so you're not gonna get as much spring off your edge. Now, when it comes to jumps, small, medium, large, it's got you covered. If anything, bigger features are gonna be better than smaller features. This is a little bit more of an aggressive jump board. If you go in and you're not trying to load it up and you just compress through the transition, it's still gonna pop you and throw you. Now, if you're trying to pop off the lip, expect to go a little bit higher and a little bit further out. Basically, it's the Airmaster. It wants to get in the air. Have you given this video a thumbs up? Why not? Go do it. It's right down there. You know you want to. While you're down there, subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for you. You know you want to do it. The nice thing about this board is you've got these sweet spots in the nose and the tail, and they're pretty immense. You can really feel yourself lock in and press, and they're also 3D shaped, so that elevates that contact point. So you don't have to worry about that biting when you're getting sideways. Like I said, it locks in and it holds, and you can do just about any butter variation, but when you go to disengage it, you're gonna get snap out, regardless if you want it or not. And the same thing kind of happens when you're jibbing. You're doing a nose press, you're doing a tail press, it's locked in. You hit the end, you're gonna pop out over the landing. Going sideways, it's not overbearing, but it will more or less kind of balance with a slight cradling on the feature. It's not gonna like clap out or really hug around it. It's just got that gentle caress, and if your weight's a little too heel or toe heavy, you're gonna slide that way, or if you're more balanced on your nose or your tail, the board's also gonna slide that way. So you wanna make sure that you're landing dead center, but if you're not, don't worry, you're gonna slide a little bit. It's gonna be like those offset board slides. You can clean that up. I have faith in you to do it. This board has a very fluid and smooth edge-to-edge roll. That 3D shaping absolutely helps that transition, and it's so mellow, you're not losing that edge hold when you're locked in and carving. You lose it when you're trying to pop more than anything. So if you're trying to pop out of the carve, you're gonna lose it. But if you're locked in and then you're gonna transition over from your toe to your heel or your heel to your toe, you don't have to worry about it. Medium mellow carves and short, tight, quick ones are really its strong suit. When you go for those deeper, harder, aggressive carves, that's when you start to notice that it just doesn't have enough power to really let you lay it over. It's like you can get so far and you're like, okay, this is cool. Can I take it further? And you do, and it starts to wash out on you. It's basically telling you, hey, this is where you need to keep it. If you go any further, you're gonna have a bad time. Overall, if you know how to carve, you know how to ride a board with camber, you're not gonna have a bad time getting this thing on edge. If you don't know how to do any of that, well, time to learn. You know who you are. Rider in mind. The park rider that is definitely more jump focused, someone that wants to get in the air, wants that spring of traditional camber. Looking for another way to support us? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. Other than the fact that they sent me a 162, which was a bit of a hog, this was actually a really good board. It's got the right amount of snap, it's got that perfect balance to sweet spot to response that you want if you want to play around. I like the traditional camber. The 3D shaping is mellow enough that it's not overpowering. Yeah, there's a little bit of a limitation if you're coming off your edge hard on the tail. And sure, you might want a little more power for deep, hard, aggressive carves, but it's a twin jump board. Like, I'm not laying trenches with this thing at all times. Overall, good board, really enjoyed it, very stable, smooth. You should probably check it out. Comparable boards, the Spring Break Resort Twin, the Salomon Huck Knife, the Bataleon Evil Twin. Binding recommendations, the Yes Kowalchuk, the K2 Bond, the Union Force. This has been my review of the Yes Airmaster. If you're looking for some bindings, why don't you go check out one of the reviews for one of the comparables that I just mentioned.